Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Today we are back in War Thunder looking at the event once again, and we're so close to getting it done. We are just millimeters away from finishing everything finally. Obviously on the first day of the event I wasn't able to do too much, only got 10 boxes, and now after today I only need 50 boxes. So technically I've finished the crate modules, so that part of the event is done. It basically means that I can put together 4 things, so one of the major vehicles and then one of the minor vehicles with the general modules, and now we just have to make sure that we get enough materials to be able to put them together. Now, at this moment in time, I put together 2 of the different things. What I wanted to do, you can see here the acceptance certificates. What I wanted to do was I wanted to kind of disassemble all of these first, just to kind of see if there was a bit of RNG in how this worked, or if there was some kind of pattern between the repairs, the productions, and the disassembled, just so I could kind of help people out and work out if there was a rhyme or reason. At the moment, there is absolutely no rhyme or reason with it that I can see, so we'll have to see what goes on with it when everything is done. But you can see here 2 transport crates set up for when we assemble these guys. Now, what's actually quite good is, you know, you can actually put these together after the grind part of the event's done, so makes it a little bit easier to sort out, which is good. And then also just makes, you know, the things a little bit less time sensitive. But I was thinking earlier, the changes that they've made to this event, well, first of all, I do need to actually fix something. The changes that they've made for this event, I think, are generally negative in setup. The reason why I say this is what they've done is basically just made it take a lot more effort to put together parts, and also the only reason why you would do something like this is to make it so it takes, you know, more time for people to work stuff out, and also people don't know the exact amount of stuff that they have to buy on the market to put the vehicles together. Like, that's why you add this disassemble part. That's why you make, you know, repairs going in, you know, disassemblies going in, and producers going in. So even if you open everything, like, it isn't the same for everybody every time. Like, maybe it will average out across the 4, but that's very hard to tell until we have a look. But at the moment, like, looking at the way that this is set up, this looks completely different to one of the other lookouts that we did previously. So for me, when I see this, it just makes me a little bit sad, because this is 2 extra steps that they've added for, first of all, to make it so more people do the factory upgrade toolkit stuff, because previously it wasn't that useful, but since this speeds up everything now, it's more useful, so people will prioritize that more, either by going for first places or using the market more. Or the other thing that it's done is to make it so people have to disassemble everything and work out how much they need before they buy stuff on the market, therefore artificially increasing the prices. Both of these are anti-consumer moves, by the way. They are both actually, they just make things worse for the individual player. So these are pro-company, anti-consumer moves, which are just bad. There is no way that this is better for the individual. I know a lot of people are going to say, like, oh, well, you know, that means the prices of vehicles will go up on the market. No, it doesn't. It just means that it takes more time for people to set up the things that they actually want. And for me, that's just bad. You know, it's a negative. So this event is actually more annoying than the previous event. You know, I didn't realize there was things that they could change to make it more annoying, especially every time they do these changes, trying to make it a pro-consumer idea. Oh, well, now, isn't it really cool? You know, it's, guess what? The stuff on the market is harder to get, so, you know, you'll get more bang for your buck. No, you won't. And at the same time, in order for you to get more bang for your buck, you have to screw over another player. Like, that's how this stuff works, because you are buying from them or you are selling to them. So it's just pitting players against each other, which is why I don't like the whole market setup for these events and why it is prioritized. Because it is not, at the end of the day, a community thing. It's basically just saying, okay, who can I how can I most efficiently screw over to get the most money out of it? And at the end of the day, this is a video game, not a job or not, a stock market or anything like that. So those general ideas shouldn't even be thought about, in my opinion. But welcome to society, I suppose, where everything is just money motivated nowadays. Very, very sad. The other thing was I finally finished the mobile infantry event. So it's done. I have completely finished the event. We've done all marks of distinction, got ourselves the mobile warrior title, so it sits somewhere around here, and there it is, mobile warrior. So that event is finished. Lasting thoughts, the mobile event was fun for maybe the first 3 games, and then after that it just became a tedious grind. I thought Arrakis was a lot better than it. I think they should reduce the amount of score required for completing the event. Doing 3.5 hours of it every 2 days was not beneficial compared to what you get out of it. The main thing that was nice out of this, though, was the loading screen. I do really like that. And the quadcopter, it was nice to see it moving, and then the colours and everything, but the amount of effort put in is not worth what was got out. So all I can say is that overall was a negative for me, I would say. It's when I think about past events for War Thunder for April Fools, and I think this might just be like, it could be just something, nostalgia thing, but I remember a lot of the events, they used to only last for like, a few days, maybe a weekend or something like that, and generally it felt a lot nicer, It felt like, at least in my opinion, that there was a lot of different stuff to do, and there was and since it was over a small period of time, you didn't really get too bored with it. You could get it done, have a bit of fun, and then move out. Now that they're making this like grandiose setup, and the only benefit of this is that you could grind the other event alongside of it, it just didn't feel good. Like it just didn't feel great. Luckily, since you can grind the stuff alongside of it, as I said, silver lining. We were able to get 25 out of the 30 boxes from it, which was good. So that left us only 5 boxes needed. Also, I didn't have to focus on my dailies today because, well, I've already got the Battle Pass to level 156. So Battle Pass is just done. It's finished. I'm going to make a few little tips and tricks videos about the Battle Pass stuff tomorrow, just because some people are asking, like, how does the Battle Pass work, and then also how do I get Warbond levels, and how to prioritize, or what to prioritize when it comes to that stuff. So we'll do some more Thunder Tips videos. They'll be short ones, but, they'll go through. The other thing I wanted to do today was spade some of the Japanese cruisers, just to try and get them done. These cruisers make no sense. So I completed the Isuzu. Okay, I've been working on the Kako since basically this morning, and then also we've added in the Kuma, which we have got pretty close to finishing, at least halfway. So the Isuzu, which I did finish, I have no idea why this thing is 5.0. So this vehicle has 3 sets of dual-mounted 5-inch guns, right? It has a bunch of 25mm, which are completely useless unless a aircraft comes within 2 kilometers of you, and it seems like most people aren't doing a lot of aircraft right now. And then it has torpedoes, which are okay, but you only get 4 of them per side, so no real use, even in arcade. These 5-inch guns are worse in every way, so they have a worse fire rate, they have, like, nearly half of the explosive filler as the 5-inch guns from the Americans, and also there is less of them on the equivalent. So if you have a look at the 5.0 Porter, for example, which is a good comparison to this thing, the Porter class is insane. Like, it has more damage TNT equivalent, it has more guns, it has better fire rates, it has everything better than this cruiser. Apart from maybe armor in some little areas, but they're the same BR. This thing, in its sense, is incredibly similar to the actual Abdiel, which was just added. The Abdiel, which has 3 4-inch sets of guns. This thing's a 4.0. You know, this thing has a little bit less armor, fair enough, and the guns are, you know, pretty rapid fire. They probably fire faster, but probably don't, well, they definitely fire faster, but maybe don't do as much damage. But also, you have access to SAP, which, you know, is something that the Isuzu doesn't. It just gets HE with 25mm worth of pen. Why is this thing 5.0? It's awful. And the other thing about these Japanese cruisers, there's something wrong with them when it comes to their repairs. And it's something to do, I don't know if it's crew skill related or what it is, but you have this breach repair, right? Which you can see here on the Kako with an experted crew. Let's just stick this in. You can see that it says it's 29.84. That's the maximum repair time, right? So that is the maximum repair time for your vehicle. Okay, so that's if everything is busted. The Kako, if anything gets touched on it, so if a turret dies, if the bridge dies, which it will constantly, because there's absolutely no armor on the bridge, just like the Isuzu and just like the Kuma, there's no armor on these bridges. Well, apart from the Kuma, never mind. But on the Kako, there's no armor, and there's no armor on the other one, right? For some reason, the max repair cost just happens straight away. So sorry, not max repair cost, max repair time when you're actually in the battles. So this thing, no matter what is hurt, even if it's just like this, right? If it's just one of the propellers or something like that, it will take 30 seconds just to repair that one thing. So if you are biffed up and everything is annihilated, it will still take you 30 seconds. But if you are not, and it's just one thing that's broken, still takes 30 seconds. And there's a real problem with that when it comes to the Kako and the Isuzu. It's your bridge. You have no armor on the bridge at all. And people just spam HE at you, and since it's the biggest part of it, you have to wait 30 seconds for the bridge to come back online, and then another 30 seconds for you to gain control. So you are just spinning in circles, and guess what? One HE hitting the bridge takes you out again. So you just do, like you're just doing a merry-go-round constantly in these things. It is painful to play them. The Kako, as a vehicle, has really good guns, right? For the level. They also have access to AP, which is good, and HE. Very heavy shell, very similar to the Krasny, right? With the big old 180s. Has a long reload, which sucks, but if you can aim, it's pretty good. But I cannot stand the fact that you just get touched by some of these destroyers which have insane amounts of guns, like the Porter or like the Moffat or the Mitcher even, or even the Wilkinson, and you can't do anything. You're just paralyzed for the rest of the match. You just have to hope to not get hit. The Kuma was slightly better because the guns, they're 140s, they have a better reload rate as well, but once again, you have a sap round, which isn't, that great compared to other things. So you sat there trying to do as much damage as possible in this good old 5.0 thing. And then you've got the Sendai, which I haven't even touched today, which has the same guns as the Kuma and has the same issues as the Kuma, because they're basically the same thing. So I don't know what's going on with the BRs of like these Japanese cruisers, but they're just all over the place. I would probably take the Kako over the Isuzu any day. The Kuma is, once again, it just doesn't do enough damage, so you can take it or you can't take it. It doesn't matter. It just doesn't work. Like the Kako with 25 and 13, the Kuma with 15 and 11, just to show how over 21 battles, by the way. I'm just getting assists after assists because I can't kill anything in that. Then the Isuzu were once again 15 out of 11. Now, you may think like, oh, well, that's not bad stats, and, it's doing all right. If you compare that to some of the other ones that we've been playing recently, like the Leipzig, we went 37 and 11, right, in the Leipzig. And then, you know, you have a look at some of the other ones, like, you know, the Dido, 48 and 17, the Sumner, 48 and 16, all positive win rates. Like, even stuff like the Porter were 108 and 42. The Akizuki, you know, same with that. Same with the Yugamo and the Shimakaze. Like, I do generally pretty good with these machines. But the Japanese cruisers are just in such a weird place, these starter ones. I'm not surprised I don't see many of them when I'm playing them. Like, it makes sense why people don't want to play these things. Like, they just feel odd and bad. So, what can I say? So, yeah, that was my day. Tomorrow, I'm going to continue to try and play these things, and then also continue to try and get the Cav Cats done. I'll probably start with this one, because, you know, this one's actually quite fun to play. And then we also have the Crim. I've decided that I want to get all rank 3 Blue Water stuff spaded. Like, that's what I've aimed for, and that's what we're doing. So, overall, you know, we're getting there. We'll get the Chapayev as well, which will be nice. And also for Japan, I'm getting the Akoma, but that's going to take years, especially after going through all of these things. But yeah, it's just, it's a real slog in these things. Like, I just play the Akizuki, have fun, use the torpedoes on the Yugamo, you know, get the Shimakaze, the squadron vehicle, and just don't use anything else when it comes to Japan. It will just make your life so much easier, I feel like. So, a tough day today, but a tough day of my own making is probably the way to put it. But from the event point of view, we're in a good place. We're going forward at a positive rate. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.
I'd just like to thank Millie Draper, Juan the Panda, Nick R. Kupila, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Merciless Reaper, Orange Tail, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Moxie B. Young, Peter Grayling, Jerry Provolt, Bareen, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, Derek R., and Lafouche for supporting the channel.